So this one, they say upon first whiff, fresh mulch and sweaty socks make a stinky combination.
Did I write that? No, that's way too eloquent. Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
And welcome back to another Topical Tuesday video where we like to start conversations with you guys. Today, what we're talking about is the 3 available whiskeys that we are reaching for right now. The reason we like to do this, we hope it's helpful and informative to talk about what we're actually drinking when we're not doing channel stuff. And we also want to hear what you've been reaching for here lately. Let's keep it available. That's the biggest key to this, is making sure you can actually get your hands on it. First bottle up for us is going to be none other than our namesake, Jack Daniel's Triple Mash, right from just a little outside of Nashville, Tennessee, where we are located. This stuff, we've been reaching for it so much, as you can see. Put a fair dent in this one. We're not reaching for it because we like it. We don't know if we like it or not.
We're trying to figure out what we think of it. And so we keep trying it.
Yeah. And Jack Daniel's, we do tend to like reasonably well, but we don't really love it. I think this is probably one of the more interesting Jack Daniel's releases. And I think that's what keeps us coming back to it. We get a lot of syrupiness, a lot of richness, kind of pancakes and syrup on this bottle. But then there's other times where we get kind of a funky stale note on it. So it just seems to kind of shift a lot through the day.
It's a chameleon whiskey for us.
And maybe it's one of those bottles that just changes a lot as you work your way through the bottle. But I can't say I've ever had a pour of it and disliked it. I've liked every pour I've had. And in our market, or most markets at least, being $38 and readily available for such an interesting bottle, you know, we're not head over heels for it, but it's hard to say that it's not worth at least buying once to see if you would like it or not. Next up for us is going to be Green River Bourbon. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with this product because it is readily available. But they were purchased by Bardstown Bourbon Company. Green River was.
Oh.
So I hope they're going to keep making this product because this is a really great bottle for $30. It's 90 proof. It's easy sipping, but not boring, which is a real problem for a lot of 90 proof $30 bottles. They're quite boring, to be honest. And this one brings a little bit of spice to the party, a little bit of interest. There's a really nice butterscotch note on this, in addition to your caramel, vanilla, and oak flavors. And the bottle looks pretty cool too. You get your little horseshoe on the bottom.
It's pretty cool.
Which, don't really care much about that.
It's cool though.
But even in blind tastings, this has done pretty well for us compared to other 90 proof pours. So we would absolutely recommend checking a bottle of that out for $30 if you haven't had one yet. And last up for us in available whiskeys we're reaching for is, we're going to bring in Powers John's Lane.
Yeah, we are.
But this is actually representative of the entire category of international whiskey. We do a lot of bourbon and rye content because we love bourbon and rye respectively, but we also really enjoy international whiskeys. And this is actually going to be a little bit of a segue into our other stuff where you guys are going to get a surprise head-to-head today. So we're going to move the John's Lane out, and we're going to move some Peated Scotch in here.
What?
And this is from Josh and Lindsay, friends of the channel, local Nashville people.
Okay.
And this is going to be really interesting.
I can smell it already.
You can smell the peat. And so as we get into this, we want to talk with you guys a little bit on the other stuff. By the way, Powers John's Lane, just buy it if you like Irish at all.
If you like Irish, it's you can't go wrong.
That or Green Spot, man, they're just hitting the spot right now. No pun intended. But we want to get into some peated stuff here. We like peated whiskey. We like Islay whiskey. All I know about this is it's Islay. I remember that Josh told me what it was, just not which one was which. When he gave these to me a couple months ago, I just don't remember what they are. So we just got too much stuff going on here lately with the studio, getting that built, home projects, life stuff. So this is going to be interesting as we get into this. And what we want to hear from you guys is, for us liking international whiskey, if you like international whiskey, where do we fit that content in here in the channel?
Yeah.
For us, we've been thinking that maybe we could put together a first sip sample pool full of all international whiskeys and maybe drop that every 5 to 6 weeks. Just grab that box and have it be the last thing we film in any given days. That way, if we get something that's peated, it doesn't wreck our palate for everything after that. Are you interested in seeing international content here on the channel?
If so, let us know down below in the comments.
Yeah, and how? How? Do you want to see us talk about it on a topical video like this, or maybe just review something flat out outright? Or would you rather see us try it blind like we want to do, like we like to do? And we can do that through something like a first sip sample pool, specifically for international whiskeys. While you guys are commenting below, we're going to get into some peated Scotch.
All
so
right.
glass 1 on the nose, whatever these 2 pours are.
Ooh.
Wow. What in the world?
It smells smoky, kind of fruity, but not as fruity as I expected.
You know what this smells like to me?
Huh.
This smells like you're sitting by a campfire and you have the fattest black Sharpie marker that you ever could smell.
Yes.
And that's what is in this glass.
Yeah.
It is straight up Sharpie and campfire smoke.
Yes. 100% I agree.
Wow, that's wild. Let's get this on the palate.
Okay. So this kind of tastes a little bit like that pink stuff that janitors put on.
Yeah, they know what you mean.
Things that kids do in school sometimes.
Yeah. So
but then it's burned up by a campfire. That's what it tastes like.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that stuff is sawdust based, but I think there's something else in there that puts the smell in it. But
it's pink. So something makes it pink.
But we get that with maltiness. That's what I've pegged down is like the maltiness in pours. That's what it comes across us sometimes. And that's what I'm getting on this as well. I'm definitely getting that. I'm getting some charred fruit, some like grilled charred fruit. It's been on the grill. Somebody walked away, left it too long.
A little burnt, yeah.
Yeah, and it's gotten kind of black and crispy on the edge, like more like a piece of meat would.
But it's
black
so black that you can't tell what fruit it was.
Yeah, you can tell that it was something, but you just can't identify it exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a fascinating pour. Definitely going to need another sip of this one.
Right.
Let's get into it.
All the things that we just said.
Wow.
Still, it's pretty consistent. It's still holding true.
Yeah, you know, it's funny when we're drinking American whiskey, a lot of times the second sip, things balance out and I get more oak in the second sip. In this glass, I'm getting a little bit more of the wood on the back end, but what I'm getting the most is like this really juicy fruit element up front. I don't know what fruit though. I want to say something like an apricot or like something in that kind of vein, like that bright kind of peachy vein, but it's been on the grill and it's gotten burnt up a little bit. Well, that's a very interesting pour. Let's keep the party rolling and get into glass 2 on the nose.
All right. So this smells less smoky.
Correct, yep.
And I'm getting actually more like alcohol on this one, like I get in like an American whiskey, like kind of like the ethanol.
Yeah.
I'm getting some of that, which normally I don't get on peated scotches. I get just like all peat.
Yeah, I can see you there. To me, this is coming across more fruit forward, less smoky.
Yeah.
And I'm getting more maltiness out of this one, but not in the way that we were getting like the pink sawdusty type of stuff in this glass. It's just a more kind of like, it almost smells, the maltiness smells kind of like, I don't know, I want to say cereal-esque, like a bowl of milk and cereal or something. Okay. Like it's got like a little bit of, I don't even know, I can't even put my finger on it. You know what, let's just get into the palate.
Right. Well, this is nice and smooth.
Wow. Okay, I'm getting some smoke on the back end now.
A little bit, little hint of smoke, a little kiss of smoke.
Yeah, it's not smoke forward like the first glass was. That fruity brightness is coming through on the front and the mid palate. Wow, that's good. I don't know which glass I prefer more. I'm gonna need another sip of this one, but I'm kind of stunned. Like this is a tale of two pours, right? Like this is kind of the backbone is the same, but this one is just way more smoky, char heavy, savory, and this one is more like fruity sweet. I think that's the difference. It's like savory versus sweet.
I'm getting savory on this one as well. This one though.
Yeah, it's got the smoke on the back end.
Yeah.
But this, if you had to call one of these two glasses savory, this is the winner for the savory award.
Maybe.
Okay, let's get into another sip on two.
This one reminds me of teriyaki beef jerky eating by a campfire. Like eating it by a campfire.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet, tangy, has a savory element to it.
A little bit of smoke.
It's got some smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me in the second glass, what I'm lacking is a little bit of spice and darkness that the first glass was bringing for me.
But this is a Scotch, like a peated Scotch.
Yeah, and
this isn't American bourbon.
I know, but I still have my preferences towards darker pours.
That's fair.
And this is quite interesting. Let's spend some time with these, get some scores together. We'll be right back. We're not going to score this like an official head-to-head, but we do want to give you guys what we would score this if we were scoring it at least on just the flavor aspect before we find out what they are. So where are you at on glass 1?
So glass 1 gets a thumbs up on the nose. Liked it. Just okay on flavor and experience for me, though. It was a little too heavy on the smoke. I understand that's what that is, but just a little too much for me tonight.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up on the nose, thumbs up on the flavor, thumbs up on the experience. After I spent some time with it, it was briny, charred fruit, and it had this really nice oak and smoke type of element to it that I really liked. It did get a little Band-Aidy, and if that Band-Aidiness wasn't Band-Aidiness, if that wasn't in there, then I might have even gone higher on the flavor. But ultimately, the nose, I could just smell this thing all night long. I'd be happy just smelling it. Let's get into glass 2. What do you think?
So for me, glass 2 gets thumbs up across the board. I enjoyed everything about it. It was in my wheelhouse. I liked the balance of the fruity and the smoky. It wasn't too much on either side. It was hitting me right.
Yeah, you like glass 2 better than glass 1.
Yes.
Okay, I had a strong preference towards glass 1. Glass 2 for me is going to get a thumbs up on the nose, which was really nice, but just okay on the flavors. I am going to give it a thumbs up on the experience. I found the experience fairly comparable to the first glass, but the flavors just weren't there for me. It was almost too fruity, bordering on like an artificial cloying sweetness for me. And that's just not my preference.
I did not get that at all.
I prefer it a little darker and richer, like I got out of glass 1. Can't wait to find out what these are. We got these little pieces of paper from Josh and Lindsay, so let's find out what we're working with here. We're probably not even going to know what's what. Oh, okay. Glass 1 is Lagavulin 12.
Have we had that before?
I don't think we've had Lagavulin 12 before.
I've heard of it.
Wow. We've had Lagavulin 16.
Oh, okay.
And I really like that.
Yeah.
So I like the 12 a lot too. Wow. Okay. Maybe I'm a Lagavulin guy. That's what we're finding out here. And let's find out what number 2 is here. And we are working with Ardbeg Fermutation 13-year. This is a committee release, and that's all I know about Ardbeg Fermentation is that it's a committee release.
What does committee release mean?
I barely even know what that is. I just know it's a thing that people say that's a word that means some things that Ardbeg...
If you know what a committee release is, let us know because we don't know.
I think it's like a special release item that Ardbeg does periodically.
Gotcha.
Upon further searching off camera, we found out that these are both limited edition or limited release items, and they're both about $200. So not cheap price.
Someone drink me some more of this.
Yeah. Tell you what, how about you have both of those glasses and I'll have both of these glasses.
Okay, that's fair.
So we do know that we both like Ardbeg Oudale, but we have not had a lot of the Ardbeg expressions.
Correct.
We've only had Wee Beastie. Other than that, we did not like Wee Beastie all that much, but I personally love Lagavulin 16. Turns out I like the 12 as well. Seems like I need to look into more Lagavulin stuff. If you want us to look into more international whiskeys, if you like the way we covered this, like we do bourbon and rye, from a real world perspective and not giving all the tasting notes that you might get from some other more educated palates, like if these are a little bit more relatable for you, like they are for us, then by all means, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think about us incorporating some international whiskeys into our videos.
So that's it for today. We're going to sign off so we can drink the rest of these here. But if you guys like today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed and you want to subscribe, do the thing, subscribe. And then also hit the bell icon to be notified when we post videos and have monthly live streams.
Be good to each other, and until next time, cheers. First bottle up for us is going to be none other... Nope.
Not that one.
Wrong bottle. First bottle up for us is going to be none other than our... Did it again. Where do we fit that content in here in the channel?
Yeah.
For us, we've thinking... For us, we's thinking...
Are you running an Amazon listing? For us, we think it very pretty.
Yeah, oh, goodness gracious.
You love this purse.
So this one They say upon first whiff, fresh mulch and sweaty socks make a stinky combination.
Did I write that? No, that's way too eloquent.
The Whiskey Wash did. After jamming my nose further into the Glen, the dram is lighter and more floral. Do you get floral? Do you get accents of baby powder and spearmint? I actually get both of those. I get baby powder and spearmint. Baby powder for sure.
I can get baby powder, yeah.
Marzipan and macaron provide a touch of nuttiness.
I don't know what marzipan smells like. I can get sea salt.
Yeah, the sea air and the Himalayan salt, for sure. Cocoa powder, I get that. I don't know about dried seaweed, though. Squeeze lemon zest and salty sweetness with wood smoke and a bonfire. Distant bonfire on the shore. I can get all that.
It's not so distant. It's
closer than you would think.
It's closer than you would think, yeah.